Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we'll continue our lab, the COVID-19 lab. This is the video number 24 and this is the last video in the series, or this playlist series. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We all know that we have been working the previous videos, or the couple of the previous videos, okay, working on how we can prevent a ransom attack on our file server. So we have used a script to monitor all of our shares on our file server and see if there is any ransom extensions or file extensions on these shared folders on the file server to be blocked. Okay, so we use the script, or we set up a script on the file server to block any ransom files or any ransom viruses on the shared folders on the file server, and we have successfully done this. And the script doesn't only prevent putting ransoms on the shared folders on the file servers, but it blocks the source of the infection. So for example, if there is a user that is accessing a shared folder on the file server and he is the source of the virus, or his machine is the source of the virus, so it will block this user from accessing the shared folder until further notice, or until you unblock it. Okay, so in the previous video, after doing a simulation for the ransom attack, and we were successfully able to prevent this attack, and we have scanned the servers and we have scanned the machines, all of this in a simulation to know how we can prevent the ransom attacks and how we can solve a ransom attack if it happens. Okay, so in this simulation we have blocked the user that was the source of the virus from accessing the file server or the shared folder on the file server. So again, we need to unblock this access, so the user need to access the shared folder again on the file server. So we have done this in the previous video, and then we began configuring different antivirus group policies, or let's say I have chosen a couple of group policies that are widely used in our system admin life, or in our in large companies. For example, they are widely used. Okay, something like, for example, configuring home pages for browsers like Chrome and Edge and Firefox. So for example, if you need to have your company website to be as a web page for all of your browsers, okay, this can be configured from a group policy. And we need, for example, to disable password saving on the browsers like Chrome and Edge and Firefox, and we have said before that saving passwords on the browsers is not a good idea. You can use a specialized software to save these passwords, okay, or all of your passwords that you are using on different websites, and it can be encrypted. I know a software, something called like LastPass. This softwares save the passwords and encrypt them. So this is very good to use specialized software to manage your passwords and to encrypt them, okay, but not to save it on the browsers, because the browsers are not specialized tool in saving passwords and securing them. Okay, and we have a group policy to disable changing of the proxy setting on the browser. So we all know a proxy server, its main function is to filter the internet activity, so it blocks some websites and allows some websites for the users, and to facilitate the accessing to certain websites used regularly. So for example, if you are accessing Google every day, so the proxy server caches a part of the Google website on its hard disk, okay, and lets you access it, okay, to facilitate and decrease the time the data retrieved from the Google website. So for example, if you access a certain website at Google every day, so every time you need to open your browser and then go to the website and then retrieve the data from the website. So if this data is not changed regularly, so the proxy setting takes a local cache or take a copy of this data of this website and put it in its local hard disk, and when you want this website again the next day, it gives you the data retrieved from its local hard disk, not from the website itself. Okay, so this decreases the time for accessing the website and facilitate the user retrieving of the data, and also decrease the use of the bandwidth of the internet. So we need to disable the changing of the proxy setting in all of the browsers, because some users can bypass your proxy server by changing the proxy setting on the browsers. Okay, so for example, we all know something, a browser called Tor. This program or this browser bypasses the proxy server by changing the proxy setting. Okay, so it can bypass your proxy server by changing the proxy setting and point to another external server outside your network. So this process will overcome your proxy setting. So for example, if you are blocking some websites and allowing some websites, changing the proxy setting will bypass all of this. So we need to make sure that the user can't change the proxy setting on the browsers like Chrome and Edge and Firefox. And also, one of the group policies that we have configured in the previous video is to disable installation of extensions on Chrome, Edge and Firefox. We all know that you can install something called extensions on the Chrome and Edge and Firefox. These extensions are small programs that add a new functionality to the browser. Okay, these extensions are programmed and are published by regular users, so we don't know if they are secure or not, and we don't know if it's a ransom or not, or it's not a Trojan or not. So we cannot permit the installation of such extensions. Of course, if you know known extensions for known company, this is good, but as a general rule, it is preferable to disable installation of extensions on the Chromes and Edge and Firefox. So for example, one of the known extensions for Chrome is to, for example, download YouTube videos. So we don't need this extension to be installed on the Google Chrome. Okay, so the users will not be able to download YouTube videos and to consume the bandwidth of the internet anyway. So we have a group policy to disable installation of extensions on Chrome, Edge and Firefox. And one of the known and mostly wide used group policy is the disable of the CD and DVD and removable storage on the devices. So you need your users not to be able to use the CD-ROM and the DVD, and not to able to plug USB devices to your PCs. So this to secure your environment from viruses. So this also we have discussed how we can do it. And at the end, we are also we have a lot of group policies discussed, but these are the main topics or the main points. So one of also very important group policy is to disable the Wi-Fi when you are connected to the domain network using a cable. So if you have a laptop and the laptop it is connected to your domain through a cable, domain network through a cable, so you don't need this laptop if it has a Wi-Fi. Okay, you don't need it to be enabled, because he can connect to an external network which will be less secure and it can infect your domain network. So this should be a very good or a best practice to do in a domain environment, especially with the laptops or with the mobile PCs, which we call laptops, of course, or netbooks or notebooks. Okay, and we have discussed also a lot of group policies other than these that we have discussed now in the previous video. So all of these are let's say best practice group policies that are widely used in all of the domains in large companies. So in this video we'll discuss another group policy which I have actually tried to search for a group policy for the Office 2016. So I didn't find a lot of group policies or best practice group policies for Office 2016. Mostly are concerned with securing the Office 2016 and not increasing the functionality or to do changes to the office. I mean by this that there is no group policy. I have searched the internet, I didn't find a group policy for Office 2016. Okay, actually to help us for example configuring useful setting. Okay, but at the end I have searched Spiceworks website. Okay, so I found this group policy. It is basically configured by a user, okay, and you have submitted in this website, and this group policy actually concentrates on increasing the performance of the Office 2016 as a whole. So just wait for a moment, guys, please. I need to do something here again. Okay, sorry. So this is the group policy, okay, for the Office I have found on our website, and this group policy, its main function is to increase the performance of the Office 2016. So basically by disabling animations for the Office and disabling some options that may affect the performance of the Office, and by doing some options that will cache some data for the Office. So for example, if you are using Outlook, it is best to configure a group policy to cache data from the Exchange server, so you don't consume all of the bandwidths of the internet, and a lot of things. So here we can see this group policy in an HTML file. So basically this group policies, one of them is, for example, to disable automatic updates. This is number one, and a lot of things. We can discuss it one by one. For example, this one, it disables the Office from getting updates for the Office package from the internet. Okay, we don't need this, or we don't need the Office to get updates for the program outside or from the internet, because the WSOS will provide these updates. So we don't need the Office to externally go to the website of Microsoft and download updates for the Office. This will be done using the WSOS. WSOS will get the updates and push it to the Office. Okay, so we don't need this anyway. So in this video we will discuss this group policy in details, and we will begin working or continue working with a program called ADManagerPlus. This is a program provided by a company, I think SolarWinds or another company, to manage the Active Directory. So we will use this utility, or we will discover a lot of its options and use it to delete a bulk of users with their home folders or Active Directory home folders. So let's see how we can configure this group policy. So first of all, we will go to the group policy management console and begin working or begin configuring this group policy for the Office. And by the way, let me show you all this group policy. It is in the computer configuration, so we need to go to computer configuration, administrative templates, and begin working with these group policies. So let's go. So you will open administrative templates, and then we can pass it real quickly here. Sorry, just a moment. So here the first one, updates, and then enable automatic updates. So Microsoft enable updates. So here this policy disable Office products updates, so via click to run. So this policy has no effect on Office products installed via Windows installer. So as I said before, we will disable, okay, we will disable the using of automatic updates by the Office. So we don't need the Office by itself to go and get updates. This will be done using the WSOS. So we will disable this. It is disabled, not enabled, by the way. So we need to disable this group policy. We'll disable it, and then this is number one. Apply and OK. And then there is another one, to hide option to enable or disable updates. So we don't give a choice to the user, so we disable automatic updates for the Office, and we will hide the options for enabling or disabling the automatic updates, so no one can be able to enable the automatic updates again, for example. So we will hide options to enable or disable updates. These are the two options, and hide updates notification. So if there is any update notification, it will be also hidden. So we are disabling the automatic updates in any way. Okay, so in these three ways. Okay, so then we go to something called miscellaneous. This is something called disable animation. Okay, by the way, I tried to find this option, but I didn't find it. I tried to search it to disable animation. So this will increase the performance of the office because it will disable the animations for the office itself. So I tried to search it, but I didn't find it. So here we can go and go to the other one, which is Excel. Okay, personal templates for Excel. This is also one of the group policies. It configures, or it tells the user, or it tells the office to get its templates from a certain location. Okay, so I don't know why it is configured, by the way, but this is was used in a company and it was submitted by a user. So maybe there is something in putting this group policy into effect. So let's see. So here I try to see the user's configuration to see if this group policy is there, but I didn't find it. So here it is configured in the computer configuration part, but I try to search and see if there is disable animation. It is in the user configuration part or the user part. So here I didn't find this this group policy, so we will go and configure. Oh, by the way, it is in the user section. Okay, so it is in the user configuration section. It wasn't there, so we need to continue working with the other group policies. So for example, we use the Excel. Okay, the Excel, here we will configure something called personal templates location. So here I'm trying to search for disable animations, but I didn't find it. So I will continue working with the other group policies. So here let's continue. We'll go to the Excel. So here I'm trying to search again for the disable animation. Okay, so basically the whole group policy concentrates on increasing the performance of the office. Okay, because mostly some users work with Excel from the office package, and they complain about the slowness of this application. So most of these settings increase the performance of the office by disabling animations and other options. So let's see. Let's continue configuring the other group policies. So here I'm trying to search for the disable animation, but I didn't find it. So I will leave it until I disable animation. So here you go. If you go another one, disable animation. So that's a moment again. So if you go there, okay, this was disable office animation. So this is it. So if you go again, let's see it. So by the way, okay, this is disable office animation. So this is it, but I didn't recognize it at the moment. I recognized it now. So this is the group policy that we need to enable, disable office animation. Okay, and if we go and see here the description of this group policy, okay, it says that didn't give us much about disabling the animation, but anyway, we have known how we can configure it. Disable office animation. So it is changed somehow because this is an old group policy, but in the video it is configured, or it is under the name of disable office animation. Okay, so this is, I think this is the one. Okay, anyway, so let's continue. but I think this is in the graphics. Okay, anyway, so we will continue working with the group policies, the other group policies. We will go and configure for the Excel, but I think we will pass the Excel. We will go to the first run, and then we will disable first run movie. We all know that when you open the Office, there is a little bit of a presentation or a small animation or a small movie concerning the Office, so we need to disable this from running from the user. This movie runs, or this animation runs for the first time the Office run by the user. Okay, so we will disable it, and then we will disable Office first run to application boot. Let's see what is this one. So let's continue here. Let's go here. So it determines whether the Office first run comes up first application boot if not previously viewed. I don't know actually, but I think it's related to the animation as well, so we will disable it. So we'll have these two group policies disabled, and then we will go to other options to allow roaming of user customization. Here it says that, or the description says that, if there is any customization done by the user for the Office toolbar or the Office icons, it will travel with the user if he is working on multiple computers. Okay, so roaming customization, here it says, we can see here in the description, that allows roaming of both quick access toolbar and ribbon customization. So if he is doing some changing to the quick access bar in the Office or the ribbon toolbar in the Office, it will travel with him, or it will be roamed to other or between multiple computers. Okay, so we can enable this. So this is the group policy I have found on the internet to concerning the Office. Okay, and actually it is the only one I have succeed in getting it. I didn't find a lot. Okay, so here we will disable the menu animation, so that there is, when you open any Office menu, it will appear with some animation. So we need to disable this to increase the performance of the Office in general. So now we have disabled menu animations, and then we will continue working with disable Office animation, disable Office background, disable Office start screen for all Office application. All of these are concerning with the animation, and one of them is, or the most important one, it is the do not use graphics acceleration. This, when it is enabled in Excel, it decreases the performance of Excel, so we need to enable this option. So if you enable hardware graphics acceleration in Excel, it will decrease the performance of the Excel. So we need to tell him do not use hardware graphics acceleration. Okay, this will disable hardware acceleration option in all of the Office package, and this will increase the performance of the Office. And another one, this is security, is show on OneDrive sign-in. We don't need the user to save any documents concerning the domain or concerning the network. So if you have, for example, a lot of documents within the network or within your production network, we don't need the user to save it outside to an external website or something. So we need to disable the accessing of OneDrive. Okay, this is an external drive or external space on external server, so we don't need our data to be saved outside our network. Okay, especially to this kind of drivers or kind of servers. Okay, so anyway, we will continue working with configuring these different group policies. So here we will disable Office animation. Okay, this also will increase the performance of the Office. And then disable Office background. Let's see what is disable Office background. Okay, we can see here ability to select Office background. I think this is the theme of the Office, so this will not enable the users to change the Office background. I don't know if this maybe you need a unified background for the Office, so you can control this. So you don't need, for example, the user to change the theme or the background of the Office. We need to have a unified background for all of the Office packages in all of our PCs, for example. Okay, in setting either the account, place, or the dialog options. Okay, so let's configure this also as well. So this is the disable office background, and then we will go and disable office start screen. So there is a screen that appears, or something called the start screen, that appears for the user when he opens the office for the first time. This also we need to disable it. Okay, and then do not use hardware graphics acceleration. This is a very good option, so we will configure it. Okay, and then we will disable sign in to OneDrive as a security precaution. So disable sign in to OneDrive. Okay, this is it. Disable to sign into OneDrive. Enable or disable it, sorry. And then we will configure one group policy for the Excel. So we will close this and open the Excel, and then we will configure something called personal templates pass. Okay, so these are, as it says here, that okay, first of all we will configure a location. So this location will be the user profile. Okay, templates Excel. So every user will save his personal templates to his user profile. Okay, so as we see here that I think this is done, okay, to specify the location of the user's personal template. So for example, if I'm making templates for Word, for example, or Excel, and you need to you need to have these templates only accessed by you, so you need to specify a location, and by specifying this location we are telling the Excel to save every user's personal office templates to his user profile. Okay, through this this group policy. Okay, so app data. Okay, so every user can save his personal templates to his user profile in the Windows. Okay, so this is a good way also if you don't need the users or the users don't need or they don't want to share their office templates between them. Okay, so every user will save his personal template to his app data folder in his user profile. Okay, and there is in this app data folder there is something called templates Excel. Okay, so I don't know, I think this is it is shared between all of the users. Okay, this is app data, this is a normal this is shared by all of the users anyway. So this is to share the location, so all of the users will have their personal templates saved in the app data templates Excel. It is not related to the user anyway, so we will continue. And then we try to see the disable animation, but we didn't find it, so we will continue working with the other group policies. So we can continue here. Okay, let's continue. So also I didn't find it, so let's go and continue here. Continue. Okay, and then continue. Okay, continue. Sorry guys, so here we will continue again. Okay, so here we will have we will continue working with the group policy. So this is the first part, and then the second part we need to continue working with it. Just a moment. So let's continue guys. Here we will continue working with the group policy of the office. Okay, and we will continue working with it. There is a couple of group policies also. It is in two sections. Okay, this is the first page, and then we will continue working with the second page. So all of these group policies aim to increase the performance of the office as a whole. So here we'll go to the Outlook, and then we'll begin doing some setting concerning the Exchange. Okay, So you are using the Outlook to connect to an Exchange server, so we will make some caching, so we will change some caching options. So I think we will enable caching for the Exchange, so this will increase the performance of the Outlook, okay, and decrease the bandwidth of the internet, because it will get, or the Outlook will get the emails from the cached Exchange server. Okay, so here we'll continue working. Let's wait for a moment. We have done all of this. We will go to the Outlook, which called Cache Exchange Low Bandwidth Threshold. So this enables us to cache from the Exchange server. And then we will change, or we will configure a policy called Disable Exchange Full Access. So here let's see if we can see what is Exchange mode, or let me see if there is any anything concerning this policy. So here we can see that Cache Exchange Low Bandwidth, specify the rate, network connection. Outlook identifies the network connection as a slow connection and operates accordingly. So here you are telling him, if by specifying something in this group policy, if the connection is slow. So I think here is telling us, or he is telling the group policy the bandwidth or the rate of, or the speed of your connection. So depending on your speed, it will begin caching from the Exchange server or not. Okay, anyway, this is a good one, so let's continue. So here, Exchange Low Bandwidth Threshold, Cache Exchange Bandwidth Threshold, Low Bandwidth Threshold. Okay, so when your rate is 512 I think kilobyte, this means that the bandwidth is low, or your internet bandwidth is low. Okay, so anyway, here we will continue working with something called Cached Exchange Mode Sync setting. Yes, this is the other one. So this group policy allows you to define the period of time that the Outlook will synchronize locally with the cached exchange mode. So I think this is related to if the Outlook is taking mails, how much mails from the Exchange server, and keep it for how much time. So if you policy specify the emails that Outlook synchronize to users' computers, we have 3, 2, 8. So we will use this option. 1 year, we'll make it 3 months. Anyway, I don't know actually all of this setting, but I think the one that had made it, he is a professional because he is working with a specific configuration. So we have made the cache exchange mode, and then disable exchange fast access. Here it is, disable exchange fast access. Okay, we have disable exchange fast, or disable exchange fast access. Okay, this, he is forced the user account to access data from the local cache. So this disable exchange fast access. So this is, by this meaning, I think he is getting the emails from the cached cached on the machine itself. Anyway, so we will enable it. And then we will continue working with the Word. For example, Word here he is blocking all unmanaged add-ons. So you know all that the Word has some add-ons to increase or to add more functionality to the Word program. So unmanaged add-on will be blocked. Okay, you have done this, and then we need to go to the personal templates, and also this defines the templates where the user can get his templates or Word templates or Excel templates or any templates. Okay, so the user will save and where he will save his personal templates. Okay, so here we will configure this one. And then we will configure, this is one of the known things, number of the documents in the recent document list. So the Word gives you a list with the most or frequently or the recent access documents. For example, you can define how much he will display for you for the most recent access documents. So here we have something for 25, so he will give you the last 25 documents that you have access. So this is a good number. You can increase it to whatever you like. So here we will tell him enable and we'll give it 25. Okay, so that's good. And we can also get another one for number of folders in the recent folders list. So also this is another one, number of folders in the recent folders list. So if you have a folder that contains your recent documents, how much folders on this in this recent document. Okay, so here you will got two policies prompted before saving normal templates, so this will be disabled. I don't know the normal template why you need to disable this, but anyway, see, we'll enable this. No, I think disable. Okay, so we'll disable this option and disable provide feedback with animation. So I think these two does have something related, or at least the last one related to the performance, because it contains animation. So anyway, we will disable this and then we will continue with the provide feedback with animation. Okay, disable it. Okay, and I think this is the last one. Okay, so these are the this is the group policy, and this is the website. It is from Spiceworks. So this one it is for the office. Okay, and this guy was saying that he made this group policy to increase the performance of the office. Okay, so I think this is just a moment. So here let's go and continue doing something else. Anyway, so let's continue here. Anyway, we can come here back and just a moment here, guys. So let's wait for it. This is the HTML that contains the group policy in details, and you can read it carefully, and then we will go and work with the ADManagerPlus. So let's wait here and see the ADManagerPlus. Just a moment. So let's continue here. We'll go to the ADManagerPlus. Just a moment. Just a moment again. So let's continue. Here we will go to ADManagerPlus and begin discovering some of the features of it. So here we will use it to delete a couple of users or bulk of users with their home or with their Active Directory home folders. So here if you go to this tab called automation, you can automate some processes related to the Active Directory. For example, if you regularly delete a bulk of users or create a bulk of users regularly, this can be done from this tab automatically. So you can automate this process. Okay, so you can automate a process of creation of users or delete of users, but this is in the professional version. So this version that I have, it's only it's not the professional one, so we cannot use it. We'll go to the admin tab. So here we can see that he says to you that the automation can be automated, for example, like automation of creation of users. So you can make a criteria for creation of users and automate it, okay, using a script through this program. Or you can automate the group membership management. So you can make a script to put users regularly in certain groups, or you can clean up the Active Directory automatically using also this tab. So this is a good thing to know, that you have a lot of things to work with. Okay, so if you tell him create an automation, so if you want to create or to automate a task, let's see what this program gives us. So if we can go a little bit further here, just a moment. So here we can see, for example, that you can, for example, automate sorry, not in the automation, in the admin tab. Here you can, for example, create users based on, or create usernames based on the first name and last name. Okay, so I think these are all templates to create users. So here you have templates for naming users, usernames. For example, if you need to have a certain criteria for naming the users or create the usernames, this can be done from here, or everything can be done from here. Just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. I think this is here a way to automate the creation of some things in the Active Directory. For example, maybe this is the for example, if you want to make a username, there is a way to automate this process by combining the first name and the last name, okay, and in a certain way. Anyway, I think these are automated. He says there is customized naming formats. So here, this is a way when you name something in the Active Directory, there is a standard or a policy for this one. I think this is what he's saying about customizing naming formats, titles and departments. So these are all parts or parts of the Active Directory configuration or fields in the Active Directory. Okay, I think he is giving them a way to be automated in a certain way. Okay, so I think this is here what here we mean by admin. Okay, so I think this is the one, but we will use the AD management to search for all of the COVID-19 users in the domain and delete them as a whole, and not only the COVID-19 users, also the COVID-19 organizational units. So let's see how we can do this. So we will go to the AD management and then begin searching for all of the users in related to COVID-19. So I think this is the password policy. So here we can see that he will give us, or he will display for us the password policy used. Okay, so here we can see that the minimum length is 6 and the maximum is 8, number of special characters 2, number of numerical 2, case sensitive options mixed, exclude these characters. Okay, so I think this is a password policy. Okay, you can create I think this is not for the Active Directory, or maybe this is the one for the default, or this is the default Active Directory password policy. You can customize it and make another password policies to be working with it. Okay, so you can create another password policy. And this can be automated. I think the next time you create any user password, it will be according to this password policy. Okay, So this is the reports. Okay, I think we don't need it. He will go to the AD management and then search for users, okay, or delete of users. So here we will use something called delete users here. Okay, so we will use it to delete bulk of users at once. We will search by, or we search the whole domain for COVID-19 users. Okay, COVID. So we'll type in the search COVID-19. So here we will delete all of the COVID-19 from the domain. So we'll type COVID. We have about maybe 1000 COVID-19 users. So here we'll search. He will get, so we can see here that he got for us about this is, every page contains 25 and we have 567 pages, so this is a lot of users. Okay, so we can multiply 25 by 567, so this is a lot of users. Okay, so we need to delete all of these users at once, and not only this, we need to delete their Active Directory home folders. We all know that for every user there is a personal folder on the file server for him. Okay, and the only one he can see it and can modify it and add his data to it. So we will select the 567 object. Okay, so this is it. Now we tell him to delete the users. Apply. We'll tell him to delete the profile. So he says to me that we will delete the profiles and home folder. So this is a good way, because in the normal delete process in the Active Directory, if you go to the Active Directory users and computers console and delete the users, it will not delete the home folders. So we need to delete the home folders manually, but here we will delete the users and the home folders in one click. Okay, so we will do this, but here we will see an error. Delete the, here is the delete or disable policy. Here he gives you what to do when you delete or disable. So here, for example, when you delete, this is the disable policy. As for the delete policy, it will delete or remove home folders, will delete remote service home folder, delete roaming profiles, delete roaming terminals, mailboxes if this is on Exchange or it is related or it is linked to an Exchange server. So this can delete mailboxes. Okay, run a custom script. So all of these are very good, or this is the delete policy. Once you configure it, it will be applied anytime you delete anything in the domain. Okay, using the ADManagerPlus, of course. And there is the disable policy also. So this is a good way for delete. It tells you what to do. So you will delete the home folders, delete remote home folders, or if you want to move them, you have to move them to another way if you need not to delete it. Okay, so this is if you have mailboxes. Okay, and I think this is it. So this will be our delete policy. So we don't have custom script, so I think we will need to go, there is additional setting. Okay, so export, if you need to export the user mailbox, so if you need to delete the mailbox permanently, or if you need to export it, or you need to get it outside, you don't want to delete it. Okay, so we only need to delete the mailbox if you have an Exchange, but we need to see the other setting of so this is the disable policy as well. It has some setting. So here we can see that the disable policy, once you disable, so this is another thing, if you disable an account, it will delete it. So this is a good way. Okay, and it will delete the roaming profile, then it will disable the mailbox. Okay, hide from Exchange address list. So if you have an address list, this user email is added to it, will be hidden from the Exchange address list or the address list in the Outlook or in the Exchange. So this is a good one. Disable a Skype account if you have a Skype account. This is a lot, or this is very useful options you can use. So we will hide from it, and then I think just a moment, we need to go further. So this is a lot of things to be done. Actually, you need to reset the password. This is a good thing, by the way. So here if you disable the account, maybe you don't need the password to be known, so you can reset it to any other thing. Okay, So this is a good one. You need to reset, for example, if you disable a user, okay, and the user left the company, so you don't need him to still leave his password on his disabled account, so you can reset the account. So this is a good one actually. So you can go to the delete policy and continue configuring it. What I have done, no, we need to do it. So this is not good. I didn't configure the delete policy anyway, so we'll do it again, and we will select it. So you'll select all of them, okay, and okay, and then delete. So before that we need to go and see here, if you open the D partition and go to the BioShips, this contains the Active Directory home folders. Here we can see COVID-19. This is our all folder users COVID-19, so it is there already. So when we delete the accounts, we need to check again to see if the home folders are there. So we will tell him apply, okay, and then we will need to wait for a couple of times. So here he's applying the changes and he's deleting the accounts. It will take a little bit of time because this is a lot. Okay, so it will begin deleting the users. So here say deleting the users successfully. So it's deleting the users, and he's giving the message confirmation of the delete of the users. So as you see, it's a very simple process, and we have a delete policy, so you have a lot of things to do with the delete policy. So it's very easy to automate the process of the deletion or the delete of the user with all of its tails. If you have home folders, you have Exchange accounts, Exchange mail account, you have to get it out of the address list. Here we can see that all of the COVID-19 home folders are deleted. Okay, so here we can see nothing appeared to be COVID-19. So all of these COVID-19 users and home folders are deleted. So now we need to delete the organizational units for the COVID-19. So we all know that there is COVID-19 organizational units in the Active Directory. So we need to tell him to delete. We can go here and tell him to delete organizational units. Here we will see one of them. So let's see where here. Delete. I think we can get it from the OU management here. So we can get it from here. So here we can see something like user creation template. So you can make a template to automate the process of the creation of users, and a template to automate the process of modification of users. So this is a good one. Okay, anyway, so we will go to the OU management. So we go to the OU management. This is also tabs, okay, or selections. So here we can see also there is, we want to delete groups. If there is COVID-19 groups, so we'll delete everything related to the COVID-19. So let's see here, no results. So there is no COVID-19 groups. Okay, but no, there is actually, but not COVID. Let's wait. If we tell him COV, let's see if he will get. He doesn't get any groups. So we need to check the Active Directory to see if there is any COVID-19 groups in the Active Directory. So here I am deleting everything related to the COVID-19 in the Active Directory. Okay, groups or users or organizational units. Okay, so let's see if we can go to the organizational units. Okay, delete OU. So here we tell him search for COVID-19, COVID, and search. Now we can see that there is 4. Let's see how much. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 organizational units. So you need to check them all and tell him to delete it. Okay, but when you tell him to delete, he will have an error. Okay, why? I will tell you now why. Because there is a protection on these organizational units from permanent deletion or from accidental deletion. Okay, so let me show you all what I mean by this. Unable to delete the OU. Okay, access denied. You here to provide privileged domain user. The user used in this program, it is the domain admin account, so it has full privilege on the domain. So this is not something to be but let's see if we can edit and see what is the username. So here I think I can tell him to authenticate. So here I will add my user account. Maybe he doesn't know it, so I will tell him or give him a user or my domain admin account. So this have privileges to delete organizational units. So here I will add my Active Directory domain admin account. So now this is it. I'm using a user. So let's go again and see if I can delete. So I didn't provide him a user before that have privilege to delete something from the Active Directory. Anyway, but how he did delete the users, this is also another thing I don't understand. Anyway, so we will get the organizational units and then tell him to delete. But actually he will not delete it because there is a protection on the organizational units from deletion, even from the domain admin account. So let's go and see how we can solve this problem. So if we go to the Active Directory Management Console, users and computers, okay, we open it, and then if you delete or if you right click any of these organizational units, so for example this is the COVID-19, if you right click on it, they will have a protection. There is something called protect from accidental deletion option. If this option is activated, you will not be able to delete the organizational unit even if you are a domain admin account. Okay, so let's see how we can remove it. So tell him properties. If I tell him to delete, you don't have sufficient privileges. So we will right click and properties, and then there is a tab here. I will show you all how we can do this. So we will go here and go to the view and advanced features, and then we will go again to the COVID-19. So let's go here, right click and properties. We cannot delete. Okay, so now we will show you all how we can make this possible. For right click and properties, and then security, go to the for the object. Here we can see protect object from accidental deletion. If this is checked, you cannot delete it. Okay, so we need to remove this from all of the COVID-19 folders. If you tell him to delete now, it will be deleted simply. Okay, so we need to go to all of the COVID-19 folders and remove this from it, so we can be able to delete it manually through the Active Directory Management Console or from the ADManagerPlus console. So we will do this, or we can delete it from here. So I think we will delete it from here, so I will delete it. Then properties, object, then applied. Okay, right click and delete the third one. So we have another one for the COVID and properties, and then we remove the protect object from accidental deletion and delete it. Okay, and yes, then we have lungs, and then we have lungs. Okay, we remove also this. So we are basically deleting everything related to the COVID-19, the users, the organizational units, and even the groups. Now we will see also the groups. So we will delete it. Okay, all of its content. So there is nothing in it actually, but we will delete it anyway. So and the Neuralink. Okay, cell groups. Here we can see that it is not named COVID-19, so we need to make sure of the names. We need to type it correctly. So we'll delete PDO COVID-19 folder or group. This is the only one. So now we have removed everything related to the COVID-19. So I think now we can sign out. And this is the end, guys, of the series. Hope it was informative, and please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and comment and share the video if you like it. Thank you so much, and see you in the upcoming playlist, which is the Red Alert playlist. Thank you so much.